This is Steve Ridgel, and today I want to tell you the story of my brother Aaron Kylo and his coming back to Jesus. Aaron was raised with some grandparents that would occasionally take him to church, and he got some Jesus, but by the time he was a teenager, that was way in the rearview mirror. He was living an entirely different life. Ended up and spent time in prison. When he got out of prison, he had a good friend, Sam, and Samantha goes to church with us at Hillcrest, and she's a great evangelist. And actually, she and Aaron were baptized on the same day a few years ago, before we even got to know them. Well, Sam ended up at Hillcrest, got really heavily involved in our Jesus Journey class and our church and our Secrets class, and she asked Aaron to come to church, and he'd come a time or two, but it never really took. Well, Aaron decided at one point, things got so low in his life, he decided to try to get clean because he had, in his words, had hit rock bottom, lost every relationship that mattered to him. And so he tried to get clean, checked himself voluntarily into a rehab place, didn't take. But he didn't quit. He decided to try again. So he went to another one in a different town, did better this time, but knew something was still missing. And so he began to think about the ways God had blessed him. And so he started thinking about that, and he was floundering a little bit, reconnected with Sam, who invited him to Hillcrest. He came a few times off and on, and then the more he counted his blessings, the more he decided Jesus is what really mattered. And so in the middle of all this, he was hanging out with one of his old buddies from his old life, which he now admits is never a good thing, except in the middle of one of their conversations, Aaron said to this man, Charles was his name, he said, Charles, I'm trying to get my life together. I think I want to get back to Jesus. I made a commitment to Jesus, and I hadn't lived up to it, and I want to try to do that. So I've been going over to Hillcrest where Sam goes. And Charles said, you know what? A couple of years ago, I was baptized at Hillcrest. I've had a hard time living it, but I'm going to tell you this. If you'll go there and listen to them, they can help you find Jesus. You know, who would have thought Charles would have been able to say that? Because he does struggle living his life in Christ. So that kind of reinforced Aaron to show up. He came, got really involved in our Jesus Journey class, started coming to worship, came to our Secrets class on Sunday morning. And so this past Sunday, Aaron stood before our church and had us read his coming home statement, acknowledging what I've just told you and telling them he was so sorry for the life he had lived away from Jesus, renewing a vow to Jesus, pledging to live faithful to Jesus, asking our church to walk with him and help him in his journey for Jesus. About 30 or 40 people stood on the stage with Aaron as we read that statement. Several in the audience stood in solidarity with him, and one of our elders led a prayer of coming home for Aaron. So if you think about it today, give a prayer for Aaron in his renewed journey. So far, he is not only passionate about living his life, he's telling others, including Charles, to come home. Well, this is Steve Ridgel being thankful that lost sheep get to come home.